Hey everybody, this is Cody with TrailChasers.net. This is the third and final video of our Notch Customs install on the 2001 WJ. So when you cut these fenders out, you're going to have some raw metal on the tabs that you bend. So you want to cover that with some sort of paint. We did the masking around the body and on the inside of the wheel well so we can prep for the paint work. We used Rust-Oleum professional grade undercoating, and we bought one of those little handles to make it easier to spray. This stuff came out really good. I'm pretty happy with it. The Rust-Oleum sells a couple different types of that spray paint, and we used the professional grade to make sure that it was a little bit better quality. We did the same thing on the back side. We had a couple areas when we, on the previous video, we had already painted. There were a couple areas that I didn't think got covered as well, and we had to cover those up again. We did 2, maybe 3 coats on each wheel well. Plan on using at least 1 can of spray paint for each wheel well. And while the paint's drying, I suggest you go play with your chihuahuas. Okay guys, back to work. Pulled all the masking off to check the paint, see if we need to do any more work in there. And then we put the fenders back on. We had the fenders painted at Corvettes and Customs in Upland, and these guys did a fantastic job. I plan on taking more work to them later. I'll post their information at the end of the video. The front side was pretty easy. Just put the fender on, put the wheel back on. Back side gets a little bit more complicated. The door flare is pretty straightforward. Stick it on the door, bolt it on, you're done. But on the back side, where you had to pull the body panels out, it's a little bit more difficult. So there's some big holes that we had to put in the body to get the studs in. And when we put the fender back on, we wanted to make sure that that wasn't going to be a place for water to come into the vehicle. So we put some caulking around the holes and the washers before we put them on. Then once the bolts were all in place and we felt good about it, I ran caulking along the seam where we welded, just as a precautionary measure. Then it's time to put all the bolts and body parts and panels back together. And a word of advice, if you have 2 other guys take the body parts apart from the inside of your vehicle, make sure they're around when you put these things back together, because I still have a bin of parts. I don't know where they go. Oh, we had to cut the front bumper to get clearance for the wheels when you turn. So I used masking tape to kind of line up a similar path on both sides and trimmed it with 10 snips. And once it was all done, we gave it a wash. And for the environmentally conscious, this was done well before the water shortage was announced, and we were mandated to not waste water. And there she is. Pretty clean, pretty done. I'm happy with the way it came out. Looks good. A special thanks to Corvettes and Customs in Upland for the paint work they did on the fender flares. It came out excellent, and I'm really happy with it. And thank you to Notch Customs for such a great product. It really enhanced the look of the vehicle, and if you're considering this project, I would say do it. It's a little bit intimidating at first if you think too hard, but honestly, it wasn't that bad. Set aside a couple weekends, get some buddies over, and change the entire look of your vehicle. Good luck out there. Have fun.